to the next point. We should ensure that whatever we say is clear.
That means work is being done. We can see that it is in opposite direction.
Hello viewers and learners at home. Once again, I welcome you to the e-learning organized by the Ministry of Education, Kaduna State. Our subject is English language as always. My name is Mercy Bainta Kude, one of your English language teachers for senior secondary. A few weeks ago, we started our lessons on vocabulary development. And today we'll continue in another dimension of vocabulary development, and we're going to talk about idioms. In some of our previous lessons, we discussed figures of speech, we discussed collocations, and so on. So particularly today, we are going to talk about idioms. Now, before we proceed, let me quickly urge you to always pay attention to what the other two secondary school teachers of English language will say. I work hand in hand with Mr. Emmanuel Jato and Mr. Pedro Imkom. You would have noticed that things that they bring to you are drawn from your scheme of work, so we are working together, which means don't treat any topic in isolation. Bring the topics together, stitch them together, and continue to draw important messages from the topics. None should be treated in isolation. It's to your benefit. So come with me for today's lesson. For our introduction, you often get embarrassed and frustrated if you cannot understand the idioms that a person is using. To avoid this, you need to have a strong knowledge of idioms to help you do better in your everyday life. The high number of idioms and their high frequency in discourse make them an important aspect of vocabulary. Idioms, we use them because we don't know them, we get embarrassed. So you need to learn idioms as part of your vocabulary development to avoid embarrassment. So we have different definitions of an idiom. We have an idiom is a phrase or expression that typically presents a figurative meaning attached to it. When a meaning is figurative, it means it is non-literal. This definition is taken from Wikipedia. Next, an idiom is a phrase, a saying, or a group of words that has a metaphorical meaning. Metaphorical is equally non-literal, which has become accepted. This definition is from the idiom's largest dictionary. But simply said, an idiom is an expression that has a deep meaning apart from the meaning of its individual words in ordinary terms. So an idiom is a phrase that has a deep meaning away from the ordinary term, away from the ordinary meaning in English language. For example, it's raining cats and dogs. It's raining cats and dogs. The example above can be read in two ways. The first meaning is literal, and it suggests that cats and dogs are falling from the sky. That's the ordinary meaning. From the way it is written, it is raining cats and dogs. So ordinarily, one will think cats and dogs are falling from the sky. The second meaning is non-literal, which means it is figurative. It suggests that it is raining heavily. So when you hear someone says it is raining cats and dogs, the person is not saying that cats and dogs are falling from the sky. Rather, the person means it is raining heavily. Unlike figures of speech, idioms have no fixed forms, and they come in different sizes, shapes, and colors. Idioms are not fixed. They are not like figures of speech. A simile is fixed. Metaphors are fixed. Onomatopoeia is always fixed, but an idiom is not fixed. So they come in different shapes, colors, and sizes depending on the person that is speaking. Example 2. Today, the mathematics teacher is as cool as cucumber. Today, the mathematics teacher is as cool as cucumber. This means that he is relaxed, calm, and untouchable by stress. Now, if you would attach an ordinary meaning to the idiom as cool as cucumber, maybe you will think the mathematics teacher looks like a piece of cucumber, but that is not what it means. When someone refers to you as being as cool as cucumber, it means you are relaxed, you are calmed, and you are untouchable by stress. Idioms are coined to communicate specific and usually quite precise meaning for which there is no exact word. The clever or creative ones tend to be memorable, and things that are memorable are always done in repeated forms, always done in meme-like fashion. When you repeat things that are interesting, things that are memorable, you keep repeating. It's like you having a new dress. You like the dress, you love it, it's a beautiful dress. You will discover that there is no week that will pass by and that you will not put on that dress. So things that are interesting are things that you do repeatedly. So it is the same thing with the idioms. Once idioms are interesting, they are memorable, you will repeatedly use them in meme-like fashion. Using in meme-like fashion means doing it because it is humorous, because it is enjoyable, because it is pleasant. So let's learn to use our idioms accordingly. For instance, your best friend has just had a first day at work, and he is already having trouble with his colleagues who seem not to like working with him. This is a situation we are creating. Your friend, his first day at work, and on the first day, he's already having troubles with a colleague because the colleague does not seem to like him. Now, you might want to cheer up your friend. When you want to cheer up your friend, the usual thing you hear someone say is, relax. The issues you are having are not as big as you think. I had been through kind of the same issues in my first job, and it didn't end up being that bad. Now, this expression is lengthy, but if you are able to use idioms, the idiom will help you summarize what you need to say, and it will become, you can save yourself the trouble and simply say, relax. Those issues are just a storm in a teacup. Instead of the long grammar, relax, these things are usual, it is normal to have trouble, so don't worry, it will end. Simply tell your friend, relax, those issues are just a storm in a teacup, you will be fine, you will be okay, and you have solved the problem. So learn to use idioms in order to fancify your work. Idioms are important for the following reasons. 1, they make us creative and efficient. 2, the use of idiom helps you to be fluent. Once you are fluent, you just keep moving, you keep rolling, and the message will be delivered. 3, the use of idioms help us to express the same exact idea in different ways. Just like the situation I created, your friend having his first day at work and he's having trouble. Instead of the long grammar, the long English, just tell him, relax. That is just a storm in a teacup, and you are done speaking it. 4, they enrich and beautify our language. Idioms enrich and beautify our language. 5, they add concise precision that alternative wording does not have. Idioms make your writing concise. When you are speaking it, it makes what you're saying concise. Sometimes idioms are the only expressions for the exact idea. Sometimes you may not have an option than to use idioms. So learn your idioms, understand the situations where you need to use each idiom, and apply accordingly. Here we have some idioms and their meanings. Number 1, a big cheese. A big cheese. This means an important or powerful person in a family or in a group. When you refer to someone as a big cheese, it means the person is important in his family or important in a group. 2, a bird's eye view. A bird's eye view. Imagine the tiny eye of a bird and you call that a view. What does it mean? It means a view from a very high place which allows you to see a large area. Imagine yourself on a story building, you are up there and you are seeing a very large area of Kaduna. That is a bird's eye view. Number 3, be bouncing off the walls. Be bouncing off the walls. This means to be excited and full of nervous energy. When you are excited, imagine it, you just be bouncing, you will become restless at a point. So when you bounce off the wall, it means you are excited and full of nervous energy. Number 4, be clear as mud. You know mud, the one that you fondly call poto poto, mud. Once you are as clear as mud, it means you are impossible to understand. There is nothing clear about mud. And somebody is telling you, be clear as mud. It means it is impossible to understand. Number 5, cap it all. To cap it all means to finish. To cap it all means to finish. Number 6, carry coals to the castle. Carry coals to the castle. This means to take something to a place or a person that has a lot of that thing already. Imagine I am here, I have so much food in the house, I don't look for food, I even throw food away. And someone will still carry food and bring to me. It means you are carrying coal to the castle. I don't need it. At the end, I will give it out to some other people. So that is what it means. When you take something to a place or to a person that does not even need that thing, or the person already has enough of it. So you carry coal to the castle. Number 7, dressed up in nines. This means wearing fancy clothes. When you are dressed up in nines, it means you are wearing fancy clothes, beautiful clothes. Number 8, dances to the tune. To dance to the tune means to always do what someone tells you to do. You don't have a voice of your own. You do whatever the person tells you. At any time the person directs, you are there doing it. So you dance to the person's tune. Number 9, don't cry over spilled milk. Don't cry over spilled milk. This means when something bad happens and nothing can be done about to help it. When something happens and nothing can be done to help it, and you keep getting worried, it means you are crying over spilled milk. So don't cry over helpless situations. Number 10, don't wash your dirty clothes in public. Sometimes you hear some people say, don't wash your dirty linens in the public, or don't wash your dirty fabrics in the public. So it means don't make public things that are best kept private. Things that other people should not hear. Don't say them. Keep private private. Let it remain private. So don't wash your dirty clothes in public. Number 11. 11th hour decision. 11th hour decision. This means a decision that is made at the last possible hour. A decision that is made at the last possible hour. Assuming you're supposed to take a flight by noon, that's 12 o'clock, afternoon, noon, and you are taking a decision by 11:59. The last minute, you are taking a decision. Number 12, eat the humble pie. This means to apologize humbly. Humility, to apologize humbly. When you do that, it means you have eaten the humble pie. Number 13, egg on the face. Egg on the face. This means you look foolish or embarrassed. When you look foolish or embarrassed, there's this expression that appears. So someone could say, you have egg on the face. Number 14, face the music. Face the music. It means to accept punishment for something you have done. And number 15, gift of gab. To have a gift of gab means you are talented in speaking in an interesting and persuasive manner. When you speak interestingly and you are able to persuade people at the right time, the right place, it means you have a gift of the gab. Number 16, have a big mouth. People that talk too much. You don't know how to keep secrets, you just keep on gossiping. So when one tells secrets or gossips, you say the person has a big mouth. Number 17, hit the nail on the head. This means to do the right thing correctly. When you hit the nail on the head, you do the right thing correctly. Number 18, in black and white. It means to give in writing. When we are striking a deal and I tell you, give it to me in black and white, it means you give me in writing. 19, like a sitting duck. When someone is like a sitting duck, it means the person appears totally unaware. Totally unaware. And number 20, many moons ago. Many moons ago. It means a very long time. Many moons ago means a very long time. Now, we have some idioms used in sentences. Number 1, Adamu is a big cheese in his community. Remember, it means Adamu is very important in his community. Number 2, the pilot gets a bird's eye view of the city before he lands at the airport. The pilot gets a bird's eye view of the city before he lands at the airport. That's seeing it from a very high level, seeing a large area. So our idiom on number 2 is a bird's eye view. Number 3, the bride is always dressed up to nines. The bride is always dressed up to nines, which means the bride is always wearing beautiful clothes. She always appears in her fanciful clothes, and that means dressing up to nines. Number 4, Peter ate the humble pie and the meeting ended well. Remember, to eat the humble pie means to be humble. So when you eat the humble pie, the bad situation will end well. So Peter ate the humble pie and the meeting ended well. Number 5, the young lady has a gift of gab. The young lady has a gift of the gab. Number 6, I saw the old man many moons ago. I saw the old man many moons ago, which means I saw him long ago. I saw the old man many moons ago. So our idiom on number 6 is many moons ago. Now, to have a summary of our lesson, we can sum up by saying the following. 1, idioms are expressions that help us describe an exact situation in a different and more creative way. This is the situation, but we describe it in a more interesting and different way. Just fancify it and make it brief but concise. That is an idiom. 2, idioms share cultural and historical information and broaden people's understanding of a language. Every language, every tribe has a particular group of idioms that are being used there. So if you are good at idioms, it means you are learning the cultural and historical information of a group of people. 3, idioms build up some distinctive features which can differ from one language to the other. There is always something unique about idioms, something distinct, something different about other kinds of usage. So by the time you learn your idioms, it helps you to build up some distinctive features which can differ from one language to another. So you cut across the languages and you get to understand that. Number 4, it's more interesting when you discover that idioms can reflect certain cultural traditions and personality. A deeper study of idioms will help you understand that you come across certain cultural traditions and even the personalities that are embedded in these traditions. And it goes on like that. So to conclude, we will sum it up again with the following notes. 1, idioms help us say many things in just a few words. Remember our first example? A storm in a teacup. Instead of the long narration, don't worry, it is your first day at work, all this will be okay, your friend will get to love you, all the long narrations. Just tell the person, this is just a storm in a teacup. Don't worry, it will be okay. 2, idioms help us enrich our language because they are nice to listen to, as they make our conversation less monotonous and more interesting. When you have the proper grips of idioms, you use them the right way. It makes your writing and narrations very interesting. People will love to listen to you. Why? Because you don't embed your work with so much unnecessary grammar. So learn to use idioms. 3, idioms are often used by seasoned speakers. So if you want to sound good in the English language, you must learn to use idioms. Seasoned speakers use idioms. So for you to be a very good speaker, if you need to sound well, learn your idioms and use your idioms accordingly. Number 4, the use of idioms help us to be more confident with our target language, as it makes you confident. So learn to use and understand idioms for you to be as cool as cucumber. If you want to be confident, you need to learn to use and understand the idioms. Once you learn and you use it correctly, it's going to help you remain as cool as cucumber. Remember, to be as cool as cucumber means you are relaxed, you are calm, and untouchable by stress. If you master it, you are already removing yourself from confusion, you are removing yourself from stress, and it makes the learning process stress-free. My viewers and learners at home, this is where we are going to close the lesson for today. But before we go, I'll leave you with an assignment. Number 1, use a dictionary to find the meaning of each of the following idioms. 1. Once in a blue moon. B, make a dry face. C, loaves and fishes. D, pay on the nail. E, recipe for disaster. I'll take number 1 again. Use a dictionary to find the meaning of each of the following idioms. A, once in a blue moon. B, make a dry face. C, loaves and fishes. D, pay on the nail. E, recipe for disaster. Question 2. Use each idiom to make a sentence that will illustrate its meaning. Use each idiom to make a sentence that will illustrate its meaning. So that is your assignment. Endeavor to get a good dictionary for idioms, and it will ease your work. Now, for reference, 1. Oxford Idioms Dictionary for Learners of English. Oxford Idioms Dictionary for Learners of English. 2. Idioms, phrasal verbs, Advanced English Vocabulary and Phrases, new edition. Number 1, I'll take it again. Oxford Idioms Dictionary for Learners of English. Number 2, Idioms, phrasal verbs, Advanced English Vocabulary and Phrases, new edition. Like I said from the beginning of this lesson, my name is Mercy Bainta Kude. You can contact me for questions on 080-250-25339. Again, my name is Mercy Bainta Kude. You can contact me on 080-250-25339. Remember, COVID-19 is real. Stay safe. Keep learning. Until I come your way again, it's goodbye.